Thank you for joining the NAPLAN from home tips to prepare an Excel for the grades 3, 5, and 7th and 9th. So let's get to know about Turito. Turito offers personalized learning for students' holistic development where the needs of success get identified and catered to. We are the enablers while our learners are the achievers. So these are a few words from our founder, Mr. Uday Reddy. So our mission is that we provide personalized, innovative, interactive, and best-in-class test preparation, college counseling, and tutoring services to help students break down barriers and meet their academic targets. Turito provides the best online programs to students across the US, Canada, India, Australia, Singapore, UK, the Middle East, and Europe. Our services include exam preparation for NAPLAN and tutoring classes for subjects math, English, science, coding, and robotics. So these are the Turito exclusives: live and engaging interactive classes, learning plans that fit learner requirements, regular assessments with paper discussions, experienced top 2% educators, student-specific methodology, doubt clarification for hurdle-free learning, parents' application to track their child's progress, conceptual learning with application. Please move to the next slide. So please let me introduce our speaker, Mr. Durga Prasad, who is the Global Program Head at Turito, and he has over 28 years of teaching experience. So before starting the webinar, I'll request all the parents to post their queries in the chat box, which will be answered at the last of this webinar. So over to you, Mr. Durga Prasad.
Yeah, thank you, Harshita. Starting with the greetings to
Sir, you're not audible. Everyone, sir is joining in a minute. Yeah, thank you.
Power failure. Suddenly that was.
We can start now, sir.
Why this exam becomes essential for students And why this is conducted only for 3579 and why not for other classes? 3579 classes, not for 4, 6, 8, and 10, and so on. Now, the government of Australia has designed some curriculum for its students, keeping some endpoint in their mind, like they want their students to be scientists, then academicians, then engineers, doctors, then uh, finance people, then administrators, and so on. They have their own end goals when they design the program. So they would like to assess whether the designed program is going in the way it should, or and is it giving really the benefits what are expected out of it or not. So for this, they don't really look at these marks for either pass or fail of any of their grades. As I mentioned, this is conducted for grade 3, grade 5, grade 7, and grade 9. But whether child takes this exam or does not take the exam, or whether they score high or do not score high, they have nothing to do with their regular curriculum. They only try to assess whether the program design or curriculum design is going in the way it should go, and is it really yielding the benefits that it is supposed to yield. This is what they are going to assess. So for this purpose, they want every student to take part in the test. They want every student to participate. They want every student to work for it. They want every student to perform, and so on. So that is the reason why what they have done is they have given responsibility to the schools to ensure that students take part in the test. Now, what exactly the benefit is for the school? Because these results are no way graded or taken into consideration for pass or fail or whatever may be. Now, every school in Australia, except very few, are funded by government. So, whenever students of those schools take part in these assessment tests and produce good results from their school, and more number of students participate in the exam and all, that means that school is doing good with the curriculum that is designed for them. And the release of fund, a school wants some fund for development of a lab or development of some sport structures and so on. For all these things, these assessment test participation and scoring plays a vital role, and the school has its own weightage to demand some funding from the government of Australia. So this is how it is helpful for the school. Now, what way it is helpful for the student? Then if it is only a benefit for the school, then why a student should take part in the test? This is very, very important. Though this has nothing to do with pass or fail, this becomes one academic credit for the student. So there are certain schools or elite schools and colleges which students will be looking at to join those schools, elite schools and colleges. So when this assessment test scores are high for the student and these are submitted to them, this itself becomes one indication that the child is good student as per their grades, and child is able to cope up with the curriculum that is designed, and child is intelligent enough and can be taken into their school. So this will be helpful for the child for future, may not be for pass or fail of that grade. So therefore, it becomes essential for the student also to take part in the test and as well score good grades in that, good scale in that. So now, what is actually tested? They'll be testing English part and mathematics. So English, writing, reading, and language, and mathematics, numeracy part. How good a child can calculate, how good a child can really work on with the concepts that are given. Similarly, English, how much a child is able to understand the language, how well they are able to use the language, whether it is reading or writing or speaking or whatever may be the thing you talk about. So they would like to assess how well these things are going on. And now others like social studies, then sciences, and all these are not tested. So they'll be testing English and mathematics. That is, when I talk about mathematics, it is numeracy. And when I talk about numeracy, they are more concerned of the concepts that are being taught, whether they are understood by the child and whether the child is able to apply them well or not, and child is able to develop the skill or not. If child is not able to develop the skill, what are the shortcomings in the curriculum? What are the changes they need to make? And all these things. See, if child is really good with the curriculum, child is able to progress, and the schools are able to deliver what is need to be delivered, and the curriculum is going in the right direction, then there is no need of any change in the curriculum. So students should give right impression to the government of Australia, and as well school should give right impressions to the government of Australia, Ministry of Education, to ensure that right curriculum is being provided to the schools and the students. So now, next slide. Yeah, and of course, test dates are conducted in the month of May. And no, next slide, next slide. The pattern of tests are given here. So reading how many questions, then writing how many questions, that is English, and then how many questions in mathematics. And in mathematics for grade 7 and grade 10, there are two zones again, certain questions with calculator and certain questions without calculator. Means they are permitted to use calculators in some of the questions and not permitted to use calculators in some other questions. So that structure is given here. I think this can be shared later on with the parents and students, wherein parents can understand what exactly the structure of the test is, and students can prepare themselves. Now, exactly what, see, this is as far as school is concerned, as far as government is concerned, as far as curriculums are concerned, all these things I talked about. I also mentioned very clearly every student should take part in the NAPLAN assessment test and score well to give right impressions and right information or feedbacks to the government and the schools, and as well provide sufficient info to the schools through these things where schools can ask. Now, the question arises when it is not useful for the student in taking, I mean, either in passing or failing of their particular grade, then why this test is so compulsory and so essential? So for that, I already mentioned. So this will give right impressions for the government, Ministry of Education of Australia, to decide the future course or curriculum for those grades, whether any improvements or changes needed or not needed, whether the curriculum is really delivering the really expected outcomes or not. All these things are assessed. So therefore, it is essential for the student to take. Now, how Turito will help the students in this process? See, Turito is training students for all kinds of competitive exams, starting from grade 1 to grade 12, whether it is USA or India or Australia or Singapore or any other part of the world. Whatever may be the competitive examinations that are being conducted, we are helping students in all those competitive examinations. Now, when it comes to NAPLAN or any other exam, like, we are not keen of teaching subject to the students. We are keen of developing the concepts and keen of developing the skill among the students so that they can apply these concepts to their regular curriculum also. Now, I'll show clear discrimination and explain you why this NAPLAN coaching is essential for the students and from Turito's perspective or students' perspective. As I said, the syllabus will be same. Grade 3, grade 5, grade 7, grade 9 syllabus will be same, whichever is being taught in the schools. But the major difference is the NAPLAN assessment test goes in testing the conceptual and skill development of the child. But same thing is not being tested in the regular school test. So therefore, both the examination patterns are different. So a child, when they start preparing for NAPLAN, this may not be directly helping in the preparation of school curriculum, but indirectly it helps because the concepts, once a child understands, grasps, and develops the skill of applying those concepts to a situation, then that itself is enough for the student to cope up with the school curriculum. So therefore, methods of teaching are different. The end goals are different, but the subject is same, but being taught in different ways. Now, if you ask me, if a student start taking coaching for NAPLAN, as it is not compulsory for a student to take the test, then will it help students or it will hamper the students' progress in their regular school curriculum? Yes, in some cases, it really hampers students' progress in their regular school curriculum because the regular school, apart from regular school curriculum, students in either Australia or US or any of these type of countries, they also focus in extracurricular, co-curricular, sports, and so many other activities, projects, and so many things they'll be doing. So the time that is available for the student should be distributed for all these things. Now, how this affects regular school curriculum means when a student is focusing on conceptual growth, they need to develop the skill of applying this to the regular curriculum also. So subject is same, knowledge is gained. So it's only the time that child needs to spend on converting this conceptual knowledge to that. So in this process, a student may face some problems in converting this conceptual knowledge to subjective knowledge. So Turito, what it does is, it not only develops conceptual growth and as well the skill, but it also keeps observing students' abilities and progress in converting this conceptual knowledge to a subjective knowledge. And wherever a Turito tutor finds a need to be discussed or worked upon the child, we immediately bring it to the notice of the parent and we try to support the child wherever required. And if any additional classes are needed for the child to give them enough support, we do that. So therefore, a child who is there at Turito taking course for NAPLAN also will be benefited in other parts because we give supportive hands. So we handhold the child and we take the child along with us. Now, if you say like if you take NAPLAN, is regular curriculum is also covered? No, parents. Please understand both methods of teaching are different. Once a child is enrolled for NAPLAN, then we'll be giving them that orientation and we'll be constantly observing and assessing their progress in other subjective parts also. And if we really find any need is there, we'll talk to the parent, update the parent, and then do needful things as per the need and as per the discussions that crop up between us and the parents. Now, if a child takes coaching for regular curriculum, will it be helpful for NAPLAN? Subject is same, but as I mentioned, this needs a different orientation. That orientation, if child can really develop on their own, it's good. Otherwise, they need separate classes for NAPLAN also. Both are independent. Methods of teaching are different. Orientations are different. But subject is same. Therefore, a child should not face any problem. Now, when I talk all these things, parent gets doubt, like a child, I mean, this is conducted for 3, 5, 7, 9, and in the month of May, then what is the correct time for a child to start taking coaching for NAPLAN? Dear parents, here I want to make it very clear, NAPLAN may be conducted in the month of May and a child may need 4 months of training for NAPLAN exam. Means from January if they take, it is sufficient. Now, are we taking coaching for NAPLAN as trying to take an exam? Definitely not, dear parents. This NAPLAN coaching should give us enough idea and information to understand whether child is able to cope up with the curriculum And if child is not able to cope up with the curriculum, then he or she need to be given additional support and handholded and taken to the destination. So in this process, a child, if he or she is struggling, then they need time. It's like this. I'll explain in a different way. If a child is asked to do 10 tasks in 2 months, then they may face some problem. If they are asked to do same 10 tasks in 4 months, they find it little comfort zone. So the additional 2 months time, whatever is given to the child can use it in a way that suits their pace and try to understand the things which are connected to those concepts and subjective part, and they can develop at their pace and comfortably, and also cope up with other things that are there at the time. So early is always the best, dear parents. So if a child is in grade 2, they can also take for grade 3 NAPLAN, and they can go in advance, or they may start in the month of June itself. Though exam is in May, they can start in month of June, so that they can involve the child into curriculum and observe. And if child is really struggling anywhere, we can handle, support, and take the child along with us. So therefore, it is always good to start early, but never it is late, because somewhere or the other child should develop that skill and the method of teaching learning process. So I suggest parents to take a decision and admit the children for this course as early as possible, talking to our counselors and academic heads who are there. They'll be guiding you, supporting you, and if necessary, they'll connect you to me so that I can talk to you individually and help you out. Now, other way how Turito helps. Turito has a very beautiful platform. It is an edtech platform where other systems are not this developed as Turito's platform is developed. So we have a beautiful platform wherein there is content, wherein we teach and conduct classes according to the comfort zone of the students. Days and dates and timings are fixed accordingly. And whenever a child is working, an individual attention is paid to the child. And if child is really facing any problem in other zones, we'll be working on with the children, and we'll be handholding them and we'll be supporting them. And in the portal, we have very beautifully designed content, which is developed scientifically, which could help the children in understanding as well applying those concepts to the situation. So in the process, we have the content as classwork, daily practice papers, DPPs we call, then work at leisure. Classwork is the one where teacher uses to teach, wherein they cover all the concepts that are there in the syllabus. And once a child appears to all, listens to all the classes, then child gets complete knowledge or hold on the concepts. So now child need to work like daily practice papers is today, some AB concepts are being done. So there'll be questions based on AB concepts. A child need to complete those DPPs so that they get enough practice of what is being taught in the class. And work at leisure is for those kids who have already completed and they have extra time to spend on, and they are keen of spending time more and more on studies. For such people, additional content is being provided to the children, which is called as work at leisure. Apart from that, we have previously solved question papers, and we conduct fortnightly tests. And once a test is being conducted, we release the assessment and analysis of the test. A child can go through, parents also can go through those analysis, understand and talk to our counselors or academic coordinators, and get their problems resolved. And not only this, what we do is like we go on for doubt sessions, weekly doubt sessions. Every Friday we conduct weekly doubt sessions wherein child works for that 1 week, and whatever doubts they get, whether it is through examination papers or through our DPPs or through our work at leisure questions, or any other doubts which a child gets when they are learning from other books or whatever it is. On that day, during that allotted time, we teach the students and clarify all their doubts. And this can go on even for one-on-one also. Even if one student has a doubt, we arrange this session. Even there are 10 students, we arrange these sessions. And we ensure that student goes doubts free. And apart from this, we have, apart from this fortnightly test, we have something called as grant test, which we conduct at the end of the course. There will be 5 grant tests, wherein there'll be every third day they'll be conducted. Students will take the test, paper discussion takes place on them, and the students are given right information on where they were successful, what are the mistakes they have done, where they need to improve, all these things. And apart from all these, if student needs any other support, that is also provided. This is what is the work of Turito, and hence we are producing very beautiful results continuously throughout for the last years once the Turito has started. So this is all from the academic desk I would like to give. Rest I'll hand over to Harshita. She'll take on forward from here, and any doubts, I'll be answering them at the end in question. Thank you all, dear parents and students. Thank you, Harshita.
Thank you, Mr. Durga Prasad, for this insightful presentation and all the information about NAPLAN. Can we go to the dashboard slide at the end?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So for all the parents, this is a student dashboard with key metrics for continuous updates. So of course, it is going to benefit your child as well as to you, so that you can track many things from this dashboard. Like you can check the subjects for which you have enrolled. These are the options, like whatever subjects you would choose in NAPLAN, Maths, English, different subjects, tests you can check here. Which test which child will give and whatever marks they are going to achieve, you can check the progress. This is progress analysis. This analysis you can do subject wise also. You can check the performance. You can check your child's strengths and weaknesses. So this dashboard is available to the parent to access any time and check all the details, how much progress your child is doing on the daily basis. Can we move to the next slide? So these are the insights into student progress for continual improvement in learning. So of course, you can check the attendance of your child. You can check the progress summary, like in the last 4 classes, 5 classes, what is the progress? You can compare that progress within a day, that how much progress your child is doing. Subject-wise, as I already mentioned, you can do that. Then this is the performance summary. Overall performance, you can check how much he's improving, in which he's going to give some mock tests as well for different subjects, so that we can identify the weaknesses of the child and can work on that. Test-wise performance it is, like if the child is giving different tests in a particular day, we can track that. So these are the recently taken tests. If you want to check that how much they are scoring in the recent exam, mock test, practical test, you can of course check that results over here. These are the learned concepts. If child want to check like what they have learned in last few days and they want to go back to that particular topic, they can check in this option, recently learned concepts. Again, as I mentioned, strengths and weaknesses, this is very beneficial for you and your child, because this is the major issue which we are facing nowadays with our children. We are not able to identify their weaknesses. As being very busy parents or engaged in other things, we cannot identify what weaknesses our child is facing in different subjects. So this is quite useful for you. Then recommendation, as per the performance summary, progress your child is doing, and strengths and weaknesses. These are some of the recommendations from our Turito experts, which will be shown in this option. And again, this is very useful to you. And at the end, this is test analysis, that on the basis of test and what performance your child is doing, we do the analysis. that where he is growing and where he requires more growth. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, this I missed, sorry. Tutor Connect. Here you can connect with the tutor anytime. So this is the dashboard useful for you. And this is one of the example of the test which your child will conduct. It seems like this. They'll get this kind of a dashboard where they are going to give exams, MCQs in this manner. Exactly the same, they are going to give the exam in NAPLAN. Can we move to the next slide? So yeah, I'll request everyone to post their queries if they have anything related to curriculum or the program. You can definitely ask your questions. And yes, we have the program manager, Mr. Shivam here, who will be answering your queries related to the curriculum, classes structure, and fee structure. Over to you, Mr. Shivam.
Thanks, Arshita. So, yeah, any queries? You can post it on Q&A to all the parents here.
And we can move to the next slide, please. Ujjwal. So
Yeah,
Shivam,
hi.
we have received the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I got it. So, yeah, hi, Gopal. Yes, these programs, NAPLAN program will be running throughout holidays. I believe in Australia, we have a break from the month of December to January for 2 months. And these programs are designed accordingly. So these will be for 2 months, 4 classes every week. And we'll be running this program for entire holiday.
So I believe there's a question from parent Salaja that what book levels we can refer with grade 3. So I believe, sir, you can answer this question. The book levels.
Yeah, I think I'll answer this question. Yeah, dear parent, like when we talk about grade 3 child, as far as NAPLAN is concerned, we have our own material, which is designed based on their regular school curriculum only, but suitable for NAPLAN testing process. So I don't think if somebody is at Turito, they need to purchase any books for reference, because we already have our own content. There is no need for any parent to buy any external books, because our material is well planned and orderly placed to ensure child grows at a gradual pace and in an order. So no reference books required as far as Turito students are concerned. If it is other institutes, if at all somebody is in other institute and if parent is asking for their purpose, then yeah, yes, there are certain books available in the market, so they can go through those. I think there is one more question which one parent has asked, Abhishek Popal. How will it, I mean, will it put any additional pressure on the kids with excess work? So this, I think I covered in my discussion, but still I'd like to answer once again this question. See, when curriculum are different and syllabus is additional, definitely there will be pressure on the child, additional pressure on the child. But if same syllabus is being taught in 2 different patterns and orientations, the only thing is child need to take little time to understand different methods of teaching learning process and answering different ways of questioning. That's all. But subject is same, therefore there will be no additional pressure on the child to learn something new than what they do for regular. Only its orientation is different and method of questioning is different. So that takes very little effort on the child. But in contrary, if child is becoming stronger conceptually, then it's helpful for the child instead of being a disadvantage. So it is going to be beneficial only for the child rather than a disadvantage situation. I hope this is clarified.
Yeah, so there's a question which I believe program manager Shivam could answer. The class would be once in a week and class will be for 1 hour, is it?
Yeah. So ideally, we would like you to take these sessions twice a week. But yes, we do provide certain level of flexibility when it comes to taking classes or frequency of the sessions. So you can take one session a week, you can take two sessions a week also, or you can take more than two sessions a week as well. More on that, our team will be connecting with you like after the webinar, and they'll be explaining you more in detail about how things work, how things will be working out after you enroll with us.
Okay. So there's one more question, that will there be any discount if a child is enrolled for 2 subjects for NAPLAN English and NAPLAN Maths?
So basically in NAPLAN, it's a complete package. You don't have to enroll for NAPLAN English and NAPLAN Maths separately. It's a whole package all in all. And we do have some discounts for our first 50 customers. Basically, if you are enrolling in next 48 hours, and if you are among the first 50 customers, you will get flat 50% off on our current fees. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shivam. And the last one is for the fee structure. So I believe for fee structure, again, as Shivam said, that our counselor is going to call you after this webinar. Within 48 hours, you will get this discount offer for 50%, and the prices will be disclosed on the call itself. Parents can put queries if they have any. There's one question from Sailaja Bhatta that she meant to ask for English reading books. So I believe Mr. Durga Prasad can answer this.
Yeah, so here I would like to tell the parents, yeah, ma'am, like whenever we talk about whether it, I mean, English or mathematics, whatever may be the thing, particularly when we take English, we need students to develop good reading and writing skills. And every student faces problem in reading skills. So to develop this, as I mentioned, we have our own content, but that may not be sufficient for the child to grow fully. Therefore, what I suggest is to refer to monthly journals or weekly journals, wherein a student reads something connected to an issue or some history issue or whatever may be the thing, then understand and puts questions to themselves to answer their own questions and develop a skill of reading, understanding, and answering. This is very, very important. As many reference books or journals that a parent can provide to the child, it will help child grow that much. Sometimes even English novels, there are few students who have good habit of reading novels, but those novels should not be simply crime related stories or something like that, but good narratives wherein a child can really develop subject skill there. So such things can be given to the child. I think I've answered this Mrs. Shailaja Bhatta's question fully. If still there is a doubt, ma'am, you can ask me.
And I would request all the parents to post their queries for next 3-4 minutes. We can still take the questions. Meanwhile, repeating again, so this is the discount offer, 50% discount, which we are providing to all the parents, those who are going to enroll with Turito within 48 hours of this webinar. So definitely our counselor will reach you back and you can take all the queries from them. If you have any doubts which are not clear here and related to fee structure as well, you can ask them. And again, if you want to refer any of your friends, relatives, so this is 50 AUD price which we are offering to you. This is the referral benefit exclusive offer which we are giving to you. So we have a question here. NAPLAN course goes for grade 2 or sorry, NAPLAN course goes for 2 or 4 months to be completed. Is that so?
Again, it depends on the frequency of the sessions that you choose while going forward. If you are choosing like 4 sessions a week, 3 sessions a week, we can complete it within 2 to 3 months. If you are taking less than 3 sessions a week, it will take you around 3 to 4 months to complete the entire course. Again, that depends on your own convenience, how you'd like to choose it. But yes, we have all the options.
Okay, and there's one more question from Talija. In December, when particularly it will start?
Right. So, Shalja, this we will be starting these sessions from next week onwards, and these will be batch sessions. Okay. So timings, again, for timings, our team will be getting in touch with you. If you are interested, we'll let you know the availability of the batches, and accordingly, we can work it out.
So there's one more question that do we pay every month or it will be one-off payment?
It will be one-off payment.
Mrs. Salja, definitely our counselor will reach you back after the webinar and the price structure will be informed to you soon. I would request again to all the parents, if they have any doubts related to enrollment thing, how to enroll with us and related to curriculum or different grade syllabus, you can please post the queries. Yes, all the parents will get the call by tomorrow itself. We can wait for 2 more minutes if parents can post their queries. If you have any queries related to curriculum, fees, anything. So there's one question from Mr. Gopal. If 10 people join for grade 3, will they get classroom experience to share their knowledge between them? Mr. Durga Prasad, I believe you can answer this. Like, will they get the classroom experience?
I think I'll answer this. Yeah, generally we go for a smaller group, sir. Like we go for 6 students group, not more than 6 generally. but we always prefer interactive methods of teacher learning process. So when students are there, we allow them to also interact, but not in the regular teaching hours, but during doubt sessions. We arrange additional sessions or classes, so their students are permitted to interact between themselves. Otherwise, in regular class, they are allowed to interact with the faculty, and faculty clarifies the doubts. And if faculty feels it's good to make child respond to the situation, they'll give chance to the student to ask questions, and they reply to those questions like that.
So there's one more question for Shivam, I believe, that do we have any faculty from Australia?
Yeah, we have faculty from all over the world. We have faculty from India, Australia, USA, Middle East, and Singapore. So we have very big teacher base, and there are few teachers from Australia also who are experts in themselves, particularly English. We have teachers from Australia also who have experience and senior most and good at these testing systems.
Thank you, Mr. Durga Prasad, for answering the question. I'll request all the parents to post their queries if they have any. We are still taking the questions. Okay, so I believe all the queries are answered and all the parents are informed about this thing, that if you are going to enroll within 48 hours of this webinar, you'll get this opportunity and exclusive offer to get 50% discount. And definitely, if you have any friends or relatives whom you want to refer for NAPLAN, their kids are in grade 2, 4, 6, or 8, then definitely they can go for this and you will get a benefit of 50 AUD. So we can take the questions for next 2 minutes if parents do have any. And for the enrollment thing, I'll inform you again that you will get a call by tomorrow from our counselor for the enrollment, how to do that, what is the payment structure, how you can pay that thing, and within how much time you can start the classes. And for the dashboard thing, definitely after enrollment, immediately you get the dashboard to start preparing for that, the content, the material, study material you will get on that dashboard. Okay, thank you, Mr. Durga Prasad, for the insightful knowledge and information about NAPLAN, and Mr. Shivam for answering all the queries related to the program. Thank you so much, parents, for joining this webinar. Have a good evening. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you all.